Welcome back to a Namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of the based on a true story Gran Turismo movie, we're looking back at another racing movie based on the same amount of reality, The Love Bug from 1997. The Love Bug is a 1997 made-for-TV action-adventure comedy film directed by the director of the Ant-Man trilogy, starring Ash Williams from The Evil Dead, Evelyn's brother from The Mummy, the lady Jerry Maguire Fortsworth in First Class and Jerry Maguire, the original protagonists from the Love Bug franchise, and the dad from The Goldbergs as a random highway patrolman. The story begins with a narration from the original protagonist telling us about Herbie the Love Bug's history. To be clear, Herbie is a sentient Volkswagen Beetle. Flash forward to the present day where Herbie is owned by an egotistic race car driver and car dealer named Simon Moore III. During the race, Simon calls Herbie a piece of junk, which makes Herbie rebel and lose the race, so Simon throws Herbie out in a junkyard. Hank Cooper, a former racer and rival to Moore and current mechanic, enters a junk rally and ends up with Herbie as his junker. Herbie is pleased that Hank fixes him up, so he wins the rally for Hank. The judges are astounded, one being Hank's ex-girlfriend, who then insists Hank proves that he didn't cheat, so they take Herbie for a ride, and Herbie locks him in and drives him to a lover's lookout, a move he did in a previous movie. Bad guy Simon is jealous that Herbie worked so well for Hank and looks into Herbie's history, where he learns that Herbie was created from metal mixed with a photograph of the creator's beloved wife. So Simon uses this information to create an evil Herbie, Horace the Hate Bug. Simon orders Horace to find and destroy Herbie, which he does, and Hank is too late to save the car. Hank and friends have a funeral for Herbie when Herbie's original owner and his creator show up, and they say they can rebuild Herbie if they keep the original parts. Once Herbie is rebuilt, Simon challenges Hank to a race in their magic Beetles, and during the race, Simon and Horace do what they can to sabotage Herbie and Hank. But in the end, Hank and Herbie win, pissing off Horace, who tries to ram Herbie off a cliff, but misses and falls to its own death. Simon gets arrested for illegally disposing of his devil car, and Hank and his girlfriend drive off into the sunset in Herbie. And that's 1997's The Love Bug in Namely 90s Minute. More or less. Join us again next Tuesday for another Namely 90s Minute. Remember, you can always hear these a day early in full episodes of Namely 90s on all major podcasting platforms. And most of the small ones too. Please subscribe and do all the other YouTube things. Bell ringing, share, like, subscribes, that sort of stuff. And we'll catch you next time.